background, I have worked for the last 10 years as a travel nurse, and I was making pretty good money, anywhere from like 16 to 18,000 per month.
Wow.
And I'm a single mom of 6, and in December, one of my children actually, unfortunately, tried to hurt themselves. And so I gave up traveling, and I took a local contract to be there to support them. And it came with a huge pay decrease. And so suddenly my budget was not very good, very affordable anymore. But unfortunately, I had never really managed that money well, even though I was making a lot. I was spending even more. So I do have poor credit. I have an eviction on my record. I have a repossession on my record. And so when I kind of found Dave and Money Makeover, and I sat down with EveryDollar Budget, the clear answer was to move out of our rental because we have a very expensive rental home. But as I started looking, nobody would rent to me. So the first part of my question is if you have any suggestions for alternative rental avenues to kind of get us out of this, because that would free up a lot of my budget.
Right.
And then the second part of my question is I've heard Dave say he has a PhD in DUMB and things like that on the show. I am having a really hard time with the shame and the guilt of not being able to provide for my family because I made so many poor decisions. And if you guys have any advice on how I kind of jump that hurdle of the emotional weight,
well,
and just feeling so pathetic.
Well, let me jump in. Let me jump in real quick. I'm so glad you're sharing that with us. But you aren't pathetic, and you are going to have to forgive yourself. You know, the kids are doing their thing. That's going to all cycle out. I think a lot of this is a tremendous amount of guilt and shame over the kid who's trying to hurt themselves.
I agree.
And that's pretty dark. It's pretty dark stuff. And there's no way for you not to personalize your child's pain. There's just no way not to. So I don't have any fix with my words. It's impossible to fix, but I do hope you listen to me and you do forgive yourself on the things that maybe you should forgive yourself, and then also realize that you're not to blame for a lot of this stuff either. Blame for the financial decisions, sure, but who among us hasn't made dumb financial decisions when we weren't healthy?
Exactly.
So you're a part of a pretty big tent, and I hope that helps you with shame. Let me move practically real quick to the first thing that came to my mind on the rent situation. If you're not involved in a local church, there's a church on every corner in your neck of the woods. And I would swallow any pride or whatever issues you have with faith, and I'd give the people of a good church a chance to help you. And I would go in and I would tell them your story. And I would be, if I were in your situation, looking for maybe an elderly couple, Jade, an older widow who's got some space over a garage. Right now, your kids can adapt to anything, and I know you can adapt to anything, and just a safe place. She doesn't care about credit score, or they don't care about credit score, but finding something like that, I just believe that when we ask for something like that, we can find it. When you seek, you find. And I would be going that route. I'm not saying that's the only route I want to bring Jade in, but that just popped into my mind for some reason, to give you a season to get stable. Because the fact of the matter is, if your kid's not hurting themselves and you're not having to come back to where you are, you could have dug out of this, correct?
Yes, and that is the plan. I do have a wonderful church family. I do want to say that.
Great.
But like you said, I will swallow my pride and go wherever.
Lean on them. No, if you've got a church family, I'm saying go to them and say, I can't do this alone in this circumstance. But once I can get my kid back, on the rails and all that kind of stuff, then you can dig out of this, because with your background, you can make good money. So this is temporary.
And that's the plan. We have good church family support and good family support that when he is in a little bit more stable place, other people can step in to be there in that role, and I can get back out and make a lot of money quickly.
Good.
Yeah, this is a temporary situation. That's the good news. The hard news is it's a very tough temporary situation, right? It doesn't make it any easier. I agree with Ken wholeheartedly. The people that love you are the people who want to help you, and you have to ask yourself, if a close friend of mine were in the same situation, you would almost be hurt that they kept it from you, right? Because you want to help, and so you have to remember that people have a heart like that. Yeah, I'm with Ken. I think you almost basically covered it.
Okay.
Find a rental that's from a human being, not from a corporation or an agency. People who can go, hey, I know you. I'm looking at you. I see your situation. I believe you'll pay me, as opposed to trying to go to apartment complexes or, like I said, ones that are owned by big conglomerations. Yeah.
On the other side of this, have you learned how to budget? Do you have, I know you're familiar with our materials, but how can we bless you today?
I'm working on learning it. I did. I purchased EveryDollar Premium last month, and I'm trying to work on that.
Good.
Yeah.
And yes, and more importantly, I've learned what the problem was, that I just wasn't budgeting.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's hit home to hear all of you, but especially Dave and Mini Makeover, that I'm just not even watching my money, so it's leaving and I don't know where it went.
Did you say you have 6 kids?
I do.
That's what I thought. How old are you?
I will be 40 next week.
Okay. And I don't normally ask a lady her age, but there was a reason that I asked. I want to leave you with this. I've already gave you the pep talk on shame and forgiveness, but I want to remind you that I don't think there's a tougher organism on the planet than a single mom. And you have already made it a long way. At the age of 40 with 6 kids, you've already proven to everybody who knows you that you're tough as nails. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hear me. You can do this. I love that you were so honest and vulnerable with us to say, hey, I know what the problem is, Jade and Ken. I just didn't budget. Well, guess what? That's something that's forgivable. And you can learn that. And now you were just trying to hang on to survive, and you didn't know how to budget. Now you know how to budget. You're getting better at it. You're going to keep getting better at it. And when you get through this storm, you're going to come out on the other side. And I'm not saying you won't have tough days ahead, but you won't have to go backwards financially. There's no way I'm betting against you, Sarah. No chance. You got me?
Yes.
I mean, there's nothing you wouldn't do for those kids. Am I right?
No, nothing.
All right. So shoulders back, head up, forgive yourself. No shame in your game, mama. And we got 6 kids that we got to take care of. One who specifically needs you. So you got to take care of you during this season. Get safe, get stable. You'll come out on the other side of this and you're going to be fine. And your kids are going to talk about how great a mama you were too. So hold on to that. And we're here for you. You can call back at any time. You got me?
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Head up. Shoulders back. Great hour, Jade.
Ken Coleman, well done, my friend.
Little tearjerker there at the end. It's tough stuff, but community matters, folks.
It does. You can't do it
Community
alone.
matters.